One of the things I love about Bellefonte is that homes like this have a story to tell. If you've been looking for a place with historic character, generous living space, and the ability to walk to one of central Pennsylvania's most charming downtowns, you're going to want to stick around. So let's go take a look at this one. I am at 138 West Logan Street here today. This is West Logan Street, and you can see there's street parking. Got one spot left out front, but there are two private spots up the top of the hill. We'll go take a look at those in a minute. I want to point out that this is South Spring Street. This is the main vein into downtown Bellefonte. So that's downtown Bellefonte. You can get to Talleyrand Park pretty easily. Just walk down to that traffic light, and yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff down there, coffee shops, restaurants, and all that. So we're gonna go and take a look at the house on the outside first. It's got this cool stone wall in the front. One of the things that we're gonna see as a theme is the historic element of the home. There's a lot of cool features historically. Got this cool front porch. Looks like it could use a little bit of paint, but structurally it seems like it's in good shape. Got these cool dormers. These are actual dormers, by the way. You can see there's the latches. They've been painted over the years. And structurally, again, the porch is in good shape. So we're gonna take a walk around here. You got it wraps around to the side. And then there's your access to the backyard. Backyard is huge, by the way. And there's your view from the porch. Again, that's South Spring Street. And then we go up to the top of the property here. So Bellefonte is kind of like the San Francisco of the East Coast. It's on a hill. So you know, we've got the backyard here. We've got a couple of decks here I'll point out while I'm standing here. We'll see these from inside as well. So this is off of one of the rooms. There's another one about to see in a second here. Got this little patio off the laundry room. We'll go in and see that here in a minute. But you've got this tiered backyard that goes up to two private parking spots, which when you're on West Logan Street is important. So here's that other back deck that I was referring to. That goes off of one of the bedrooms. And then you've got these stairs to go up the tiered backyard. Got a little jungle gym. And this is a long, narrow lot. I think it's just over a 1/4 acre. But you can see what all that vegetation is growing on is actually a concrete wall. Might be a block wall, not sure. Can't see underneath of there. It looks like concrete to me. But the reason that that's important is because you have these two private spots that you can park on. So these are yours. You could probably even fit 3 cars in there, but 2 comfortably, for sure. But you can see from up here, you got a nice view of Bellefonte. You can see that's downtown Bellefonte right there. And again, that's part of the charm of this property is how close it is to everything. You can walk to coffee shops, restaurants, Talleyrand Park. The match factory is right around the corner. All kinds of cool stuff. You got this nice big backyard. Got this cool deck here to relax on. And you can see it's in the shade. It's a sunny day. And here we are in the shade. And one thing I'll point out too while I'm standing here, that roof is a I don't know exactly how new it is, but those are newer architectural shingles. So that's something you're not going to have to worry about. Deck could probably use a little bit of power washing and refinishing. It's at about that point, but structurally everything looks good. Just want to highlight a little bit of the historic charm to this house. So all of this is painted. So you have painted siding, painted railings, banisters, dormers. Those are actual dormers. They could be brought back to life probably. But a couple things to point out here. Look at that. Up top you got, you know, the old architecture, those little features there. I always forget what those are called, but on the soffit, just a architectural style. You've got this stone wall out front. Looks like it's been repointed over the years. It's in good shape. And then just a really cool front porch. All right, we're gonna go back in through the front door here. Again, got a newer lock on this. So as you come in to the entranceway here, you're greeted with this cool stairway. And it's a bit of a receiving area. You've got off of this side is what they're using as a living room. Straight back, you've got the laundry room, and then the kitchen's off of that. And then over here, you've got a dining room, and again, the kitchen's off of that. So let's just take a peek in here. This is the living area. This is what they're using. It's a nice size room. So got some flexibility in how you utilize this. Another thing to point out while we're standing here. So I don't know exactly when these vinyl windows were put in, but they're obviously not original, and they seem to be in decent shape. So that's a nice thing when you're looking at these historic homes. Windows matter. Another thing to point out is these oak floors. So these are a bit wider than the planks that are at the entranceway. So this may have been replaced. So you can see this side's a little bit wider than that side. That was probably the original floor. This was probably replaced somewhere. Could have been in the 60s. That's more of the width of the 60s. That's probably the width of the 20s. So, but either way, really cool oak floors. Could be refinished, brought back to life. So it's a neat feature. And also, these windows are pretty tall, so they do let in quite a bit of nice light. Let's see here. I actually not opened this door yet. This takes us into the bathroom. So you've got a full bath down here on the first floor, which is kind of nice. So upstairs you have what they're calling 4 bedrooms. And then there you got this spillover full bath down here. It looks like it's been refinished at some point. May as well just go in while we're here. So you got a new tub and some fixtures. Looks like even a new toilet, newer vanity, all around nicely updated. It's even vented. So while we're in here, we'll just go back out to the hallway. And you've got this, so again, there's your entranceway. And here's the door to the basement. We'll go down there in a minute. But I'll point this out because if you remember, there's those 2 parking spots up at the top of the hill. So you've got this little mudroom area here kind of in the middle. So if you're coming in off the front door, you come straight back here to hang your coats and take your shoes off and whatnot. But you've also got this door back here that goes out to that little side patio area that we saw earlier. So there's the porch, and that's the reason that's important is because there's the hill you go up, and that's your private parking up there at the top. So, but this is your laundry room. And it looks like, I mean, one thing I'll point out is that this is all drywall here. So This is not the original plaster walls that this house would have had. So there's been a lot of updating here. You can see this is updated lighting. Got some newer cabinets. And they used a nice kind of bright color. Didn't turn the light on in that little hallway. Just show you that with the light on. So the new lighting really helps a lot, really gives some good lighting to it. And at some point, this kitchen was all updated. You just have your, looks like a vinyl floor that is made to look like tile. And newer cabinets. And there's quite a bit of cabinet space too, really. And there's room to put more even if you wanted to. This was all updated again. You can see those are newer vinyl windows. And then you've got this big dining room off of the kitchen. I'll point out a nice wide entrance into it. So, but this is huge. So if you like to entertain for the holidays, you've got a lot of room here. You've got room there for a hutch. So that may have been at one point. That could be the chimney for the furnace. I think the furnace is right below us. It's actually a boiler, but you can see you've got the old style radiators. So that's from the boiler. Might still be a steam boiler. We'll have to take a closer look. It didn't look like it was very old. I think it was last serviced in 2022. We'll take a look at that though. But this is your kitchen, nice big open kitchen. You got room over here to have a little kitchenette table if you wanted to put a little table in over there. But quick favor to ask, if you're enjoying this tour, take a second and like the video and subscribe. Every week I share homes, neighborhoods, and local market insights from across Centre County to help you make smarter real estate decisions. All right, let's keep going. There's one feature upstairs that I really think you're gonna like. Here we are back at the front door. We're gonna make our way upstairs. Again, this is that receiving area. And you've got this cool stairwell going up, kind of wraps around. These older homes have so much character this way, so you gotta step up over into that wing. We'll call it a wing. And then you got stairs that go up to that wing. And these are probably just pine. They've been painted over the years. They seem like they're in pretty decent shape. But you got this little kind of sitting area. So they've got an AC unit there. Point out that they've got this fan here. So with that AC unit running, that fan probably pushes some cold air down. Helps to keep things in line. And so you've got a thermostat up here. I'm guessing that's the upstairs zone, and then there might be a zone downstairs. But this is a pretty large room. Don't know the dimensions exactly, but ceiling height's pretty good. Looks like at one point there was a door through. Nice big room. Again, these are probably pine floors. You could do all kinds of things with those. You could put area rugs over them. You could leave them as they are. But cool little feature here to point out. It's the old latch system. So this is just a small closet, but just I point out that latch system. And again, you've got the vinyl windows up here. So somebody spent some time and money updating all the windows, which in an older home is a nice thing. So you've got a gas boiler with newer windows, newer roof. The boiler itself looks like it's in good shape. Don't know exactly how old it is, but it didn't look that old. And then upstairs here, so this is what they're using as the primary bedroom. So you've got this little room over here that they're using as an office. This is what they're using as a primary bedroom. Again, you've got the vinyl windows everywhere. And this is what I think they're referring to as the hidden closet. So you've got this kind of wall here with a closet behind it. They've got racks set up. And it's got lighting as well. But then he's using this as an office. And again, you got can lighting here, lighting this room. And this is that little side porch that I pointed out outside. So again, this is now looking up that backyard. Just a little side porch off of this room. This has newer LVP flooring. Again, it's got the vinyl windows, and this looks off to the backyard. So this room goes back out into the other wing, if you will. So there's that stairwell, and then here's your full bath upstairs. You got the cool clawfoot tub here. It's ready to go. Shower. Well, looks like you've got the shower, hand shower. You can hold that up for yourself. But looks like somebody updated this at one point. You got the newer vanity. Looks like an updated toilet, updated flooring. This may be drywall as well. So this whole house seems to have been touched and updated to some degree. Sometimes it was just paint. Other times they redid walls. So these would be probably original horsehair plaster walls. But there are some updated walls that are drywall. So this is another room here. Could be used as a bedroom. But the neat thing about this room is it's got this porch off the back. So this is that porch that we saw earlier. It's just nice and quiet back here. Got that cool green space all the way up to your parking area. And it's got a closet again with that latch. So now this does have what was probably, I don't know if it's original, but it's an older window. That's the first one I've seen. But that's the upstairs. And then of course you've got the attic pull down there. So that's how you get up there. So that's the house. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's go take a look at the basement here. So kind of a old school door. It's a little bit low, you're gonna have to duck, but good steps down. You're gonna see these older homes. This one's, they're saying in the data sheet, it was built in 1860. It could be an exact date, could be a roundabout date, but it's an older home. You can see your block or your stone foundation. With these older homes, you always want to take a good look at those. Everything seems pretty good. Got some old windows that go out. And some things I'd point out are you've got some newer PEX line. There's your water heater. It's an electric water heater. Got some updated plumbing. A little bit of storage down here. I won't spend a ton of time in the basement, but it's good to see what's going on. It gives you an overview of the house. So those are your heating lines. And I'm not the best with these because first of all, you gotta, so this is gas. So that's your gas line in. And I'm thinking this is a steam boiler. see if it says on the top. There's your model. In any event, I don't see it easily. Maybe you did when I zoomed in on that. You can pause it and look, but the size of these pipes leads me to believe that it might be steam. But either way, it's a boiler system, and it looks like it may have 2 zones. Something else to point out is the electric. So these older homes, one of the things you always want to check is the electric. This has clearly been updated over the years, so you've got newer electric lines. You don't have the knob and tube to worry about necessarily. And yeah, you've got gas coming into the house, so that's good. So what stands out to me about this home isn't just the 4 bedrooms, it's the lifestyle. You get the character of a historic home with plenty of space to grow into, and you're just a short walk from everything that makes Bellefonte a special place to live. If this looks like the kind of home that you've been searching for, I'd encourage you to come and see it in person. So thanks a lot for taking the tour with me, and I'll see you on the next one.